Committee on Community Planning and Economic Development. Today is Monday, June 8, 2026. Time is 4:03. Start with the chairman's roll call. And Oliver, chairperson, and to the right.
Mike Gray, fourth ward councilman and committee member.
Man Kitchen, CPED director.
Erica Avery, CPED. Beverly Hosey, Community Development.
Wendy Robinson, Community Development.
Rich Harvey, Finance.
Amanda Basinga, Finance. Deborah Burr, Community Development.
Kelly, vice chair.
John Noga, Community Development.
Tiffany Sobel, Youngstown Neighborhood Development Corporation.
Don Montero, Community Development.
Joe Bueller, Youngstown.
Valencia Merrill, City Clerk.
Okay, we'll start with new business. New business, 2026 CDBG budget review. Start with Mr. Kitchen.
Yeah, thank you through the chair, to the committee. Thank you guys. I know this is kind of annual thing. Nothing too drastic has changed, but as you know, just a couple things I want to point out is that every year the funding kind of decreases. We've been from last year to this year, the amount lowered slightly, but it's pretty much the same allocation, give or take a couple $1,000s. Everyone that applies obviously doesn't get awarded just like any other grant cycle, but a couple of things, these decisions were made, these recommendations that you have before you were made based on the scoring rubric. There are some changes at the federal level with the federal administration, what they require, things that we were able to do in the past, we can't do now. Things are out of our control, but you know, our team of professionals and experts are well equipped to answer any of those questions that you guys may have. But essentially, you all know we have a 5-year plan. It was submitted. We're in year 2 of our 5-year plan. And then we have annual action plans. And so all of these applicants, if you will, fit that 5-year plan. And then we look for opportunities to fund new agencies, new nonprofits, whenever there's an opportunity to do it. Sometimes it's challenging because they're not really, all together, or, they need a little help. And so we try to work with them throughout the year.
You guys still hold the session ahead of time for this month?
Yep. So we try to hold their hand so they can understand the process, get them ready. If they're not ready this cycle, hopefully the next cycle, we walk with them enough to get them prepared for that. So those are pretty much the points I want to make. And I'll turn it over to Beverly, who been here doing this, and I think they've done a good job.
Thank you, Mr. Kitchen. Beverly?
Okay, through the chair. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Bird to give you the details on the funding. And I know you said you were mostly concerned with what we're not funding. And I just wanted to assure you before I do turn this over that we were careful in our scoring and that the scoring is difficult, but it's just based on practically about 3 basic things: financial and compliance related. So Ms. Bird, you want to go ahead now?
Ms. Bird?
Thank you all. This meeting today, we appreciate it greatly. CPED bringing our CBDG 2026-2027 budget before CPED committee for approval, so that it can move forward and be approved by City Council on June 17th. What I wanted to say with the organizations that you see in kind of that pinkish color, those are organizations that were already approved by CPED during last year's fiscal year at the same dollar amount, so nothing's changed. Just like Department Head Domain Kitchen stated, our funding was decreased some. So what we did was, instead of raising any dollar amounts for those organizations, we wind up just going ahead and funding them for the dollar amount that was requested and approved by the committee last fiscal year. And There was just a little bit of a change, to, Thrive from this sheet and, the last sheet that you had. We moved them up to the 15,000 because we took down, Best Purpose and Loop Youngstown, who are two new organizations for this year's funding. Instead of giving them the full dollar amount, we just kind of moved them down just a little bit to give them some room to grow. Thrive, Thrive there, Thrive Mahoning Valley, and then Best.
So the funds that were taken down, right, and the replaced them. Right, was it? Oh, I'm sorry. From Loop. That's right.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
That's increased.
That's about $1,500 up through this year.
That was placed.
Because Thrive only had 10,000 in the very beginning. So we took that dollar amount from Best Purpose and from Thrive, I want to say
From Loop,
maybe $2,000 was taken from Thrive, I believe.
from Loop.
From Loop, excuse me.
So that's
Through the chair, Loop and Best were decreased, so Thrive can increase.
Mike.
So, I guess, I don't know who could explain, what's so spectacular about Thrive having a lower score if we talk about it. I believe they have a 72 versus the organizations that were pulled from had 80 and 55, I can't remember. 74 and 80, not like between the 72 and 74, not substantial, but I was there.
Through the chair. Okay, through the chair, I just wanted to just speak a moment on this, the scoring. Sometimes the score might differ just a little, but that little bit of difference might be due to a qualitative or quantitative difference, and also in weighing capacity and risk. So those are the 3 points I was talking about, like compliance hurdles. So those are things that we have to look ahead on, and maybe one was good in capacity and one was maybe better in another metric, as far as community need or something like that. So when we do the scoring, it is inherently difficult sometimes, and the scores might look different and close, but there might be a difference in their financial management or their capacity or the community need.
Thank you, that was my explanation. Are they weighted so that everything's not scored the same? So financially, does that carry a greater weight in the metric?
Yes, we have a scoring rubric
Okay.
that we use.
So for like a United Returning Citizens or scored like 55, so that primarily the reasons they didn't get funded.
So through the chair, United Returning Citizen, they are better off with going with, or getting their local support from the Continuum of Care or from the Emergency Solutions Grant. It's mostly home for homeless. And so the application tends to not be able to focus clearly on some of the options that are eligible for CDBG funding. So transitional housing. So although it's a housing, it's more of a homeless housing and is better suited with the Continuum of Care.
Right?
So they pretty much applied in a category that really wasn't the best.
Yes, it's not the best suited category for them.
You guys want to go through this, or if you guys have any other questions? First category. Mike.
So that is true. Anyone that is I don't know if this is a brown or I don't know what color that is. Anyone highlighted is what they received last year.
Correct. Only exception through the chair. Only exception is, is SMARTS. It's, the SMARTS program. Through the chair, the SMARTS program, they normally ask for a lower dollar amount. They did request this, dollar amount here. There's been a tremendous amount of growth in her program, in Becky's program. They've also made a great impact on, the city of Youngstown with her numbers, with the type of events that she's, pretty much had over the summers and pretty much over the year in itself. You could see the growth in there. So we went ahead and gave her the $40,000 because her program has grown a little bit.
So, I know I'm probably ask this every year, I think, how do you guys ensure that the Youngstown CPG dollars are only spent on Youngstown kids?
Through the chair, we have to do monthly reports. And what we do is we send out those monthly reports. Some of the organizations have a clientele listing that they have to keep in line with. They have to report the information from the clientele to make sure that they're 51%. If they are within the city of Youngstown, we need their addresses, we need their their cultural background, ethnicity, and also pretty much their information of income. They do record that information in that documentation. For example, if an organization falls under 51%, at that point, I require more information from them, or we require more information from them, just to double check to make sure that they fall within that 51% and is over that 51% to be approved. By the,
I know she deals with.
yes.
All over, so we just want to make sure Youngstown benefits Youngstown.
Yes, through the chair, working with Becky, we had to touch on those numbers once before, but she did get her information and got the information that we needed. She did do a little bit more heavily recruiting from the city of Youngstown based on addresses and the income of the students that are attending her program.
Thank you.
Anybody
Beach market. That's it.
Salmon.
Sam.
I'll just play.
Oh, Sam.
Through the chair, I wanted to make sure you guys could read it. I want to make sure you
Yeah.
guys could still see the color
Gotcha.
and the numbers.
And all this keeps you within that 15% cap.
Through the chair, yes, we have to stay within 15%. We are not allowed to go 15% at all.
National Development Group.
Through the chair, International Development Group is, that is Carmela Williams. It's still similar to the micro enterprise because it's still economic development with jobs. It's just a little bit different for the simple fact that we do not have CBDG-CB funding anymore. So when it goes over to CBDG funding, it just kind of changes us a little bit in how we collect the information and the data from her, but she's still meeting that micro enterprise requirement. It's just not called and classified as micro enterprise.
Sure. Started in Youngstown Cityscape.
Youngstown Cityscape, through this year, Youngstown Cityscape through the Brill project. The Brill project was not funded this year. The request was for $75,000. As a group, we sat down, we contemplated, and we went over this. We decided, unfortunately, that a lot of money has been invested into the public facilities program. It's a little bit different from the public services. The public facility program, with the dollar amount that has been invested in the program, the project unfortunately should be completed by now, but it's not. They still need a little bit more funding, but as a group and as a whole, we felt that enough money had been put to the program, the public facility program, and that they could utilize other sourcing or seek other sourcing to finish out the project.
Through the chair, what did we gave 75,000 last year for that project? That's showing.
Through the chair, sir, yes.
$200,000 and
Through the chair, yes.
Through the chair, they needed another 70.
Another one's the budget.
Their total
Okay.
project was
Total
202.
project, right.
They were asking for another 70.
So through the chair, we've given 75 for that project.
Right.
Through the chair, yes,
Through CDB.
yes. Last year, they were given 75,000.
Go ahead, you want to say that?
They still have funds they haven't drawn down from in this category?
Through the chair, they still have funding and they also had funding prior to 25. Prior to 2025, I believe.
So, right, through the chair, what was that previous?
Through the chair that,
No.
through the chair, that previous amount was the 75,000. The 75,000 that they received from last year, they have not utilized this year. They are in the process of utilizing that funding now. So as of today, they do still have a remaining balance, 75,000 last year.
Through the chair, I'm sorry. Mike, to your question though, I don't know, we can get back to you on the 2024
Okay.
allocation.
Yeah.
They got money in 24 too, it's just not on here.
Yeah, that's
For Rose project?
For the.
through the chair, yes.
Okay.
Oh, hold on, through the chair. Our finance, I forgot our finance was here.
Yeah. Borough received 43,000 in 49th year, so 2 years ago, and that money's all spent on.
They have 75 from 25 they haven't drawn down.
Right. Last year's allocation. Try to help.
Sidewalk squad, sorry, through the chair. What did the street sidewalk squad get?
They have, for the last number of years, the last couple of years, I want to say at least from the last 3 years, I know they requested the $80,000 and we have approved the $80,000 for the city, Youngstown Cityscape Sidewalks Squad.
Did the YMCA project fall out of application purposes as well, or?
Through the chair, YMCA project, they have a really good project going. Unfortunately, if we would have rewarded funding, we would have had to pretty much take that funding back. As you can see, they still need $3.1 million to finish out their program. However, they did receive some additional funding from somewhere else. How it still unfortunately put them in need of $2 million. So even if we would have granted them $350,000, there's no way we would have been able to hold that funding until they had need to use that funding. We can't hold that funding that long. So the program was good through the chair. Unfortunately, they were still miles away from getting the funding they need to actually start the project.
Who's the administrator? Housing special project.
Through the chair, that is going through Dan Martin in the county, the lead program. One of the things that happens with the lead program, we work with them for a number of years. This program here, both of their programs here, a lot of times when they go out, they utilize their own funding to go out and renovate a home for lead. A lot of times they'll meet their maximum amount of money that they can spend per home. So they'll call us and see if we have like any additional funding. For instance, they went and worked on a home once, they completed everything, and before they actually wrote it off as completed, the roof was leaking. So they contact our office and asked if we had additional funding, any type of housing funding left over that we could contribute that $9,000 because they had reached the max of the money that they could spend. So this year, instead of continuously doing that, they just went ahead and applied for funding. And that usually, this helps because it does apply also to a lot of the city of Youngstown residents. And they don't have to meet that 6-year-old qualification too, so.
Chair, so the 150 through the Mahoney County for roof program, and then I dropped down here to 150 for YNDC for roof program.
Through the
Is
chair,
that the same thing?
through the chair, there's a slight difference, and I'm glad you asked that question. There's a slight difference. For the Mahoney County program, that one is for the lead only. Just like I said, with this particular situation, there has to be lead. They usually,
Find something in the process.
through the chair, yes.
How do we know they already? How do we anticipate how many problems they're gonna find?
Through the chair, normally they use around that much because we have an actual program with them and we've had it for a number of years working with Mahoney County. And you can pretty much look through their track record of how much money they've utilized. That's why I said it was best for them to just go ahead and apply for funding instead of every time something comes up, we go around and look for funding because they do tremendously help the city of Youngstown. So
And are they replacing the roof or repairing?
replace things, they have to replace.
I'm sorry, you may interrupt.
No, you're fine.
No,
Sorry.
And through the chair, that's one of the examples with the Mahoney County lead program. With YNDC roof replacement, when we did a lot of the roof replacements with the funding that we had before, there are still a number of people that are left on this list that have not been serviced and received their roofing. So we wanted to make sure that we actually funded them. So that way we can make sure that those people that remained on the list could get their roofing done.
Mahoney County Housing Initiative, $250,000.
Yes. Through the chair, that is the one for renovation to the home itself. So that one is separate from the roofing. But it's the same type of program, just renovations to the home with the exception of the roof. If there's anything that's wrong with the roof, then they have to use the money from the roofing program.
Is that new?
Through the chair is a new program that we're kind of establishing as a project with them, but we've always had it. It was just, we would go and look for additional funding. It was not pretty much a name. We have a lead program that we run with them already. However, this year, like I said, instead of continuously going back and forth, trying to make sure that we have money and basically working with our county, we went ahead and just asked them to apply.
So
For
in
the
the
fund.
process, whatever lead abatement or whatever you're doing to the house, they find these other problems. And these money goes towards renovating other issues at home. So we're taking care of home renovations as well as roofing. Same project over in the county. And that's something different from like with YNDC or building neighborhoods else.
Through the chair, yes, because this is based off of their lead program. On both of these programs, there has to be evidence of lead there.
Got it. Sorry. Eric?
Yeah, just so you know, with those projects too, there's a risk assessment attached to the house that has to be cured because of the state. It's a requirement. So that's the difference between what you had just said. That's one of it. It's a risk assessment. Usually there's a child at risk for lead, child, or that visits the home.
Child six or under.
Six or under.
So we're doing fixing multiple problems.
Yes.
It's attached to the child.
Attached to a child visiting a home or living.
Sounds good. Mike?
No, that's, and I think, you explained that it's leveraging the funds with the county, so they have money into it too, and this is supplemental to what they're doing.
Through the chair, yes.
Central repair. Is that?
Through the chair, unfortunately, the essential repair is a program that YNDC normally funds for residents, like furnaces and other essentials that they need. Unfortunately, due to funding, we were unable to fund that particular program. Well, YNDC is gonna use some additional, some other resources that they have for that program right now. Not saying that we're not gonna fund it. Hopefully in the future, we can fund a large normal amount of these programs, but unfortunately, due to the funding cuts, we were unable. We had to kind of sacrifice.
There's no dash on there.
Okay, I'll make sure there's a dash there.
Mike?
Was there another request? I don't see anything in there.
Through the chair, yes, there was a request. There was a request there. The request was for, I believe, the $300,000, and
Yeah, there's no requested funds in this section. Any of those.
I can make sure to get you all that information if you need it.
Score.
Ms. Beverly, what's next? I was having
Through the,
just so everybody understands, you kind of explain doing here. So these are, you get requests from the applicants. These are the recommendations from the administration on what should or should not be funded. Comes to us, this committee gets the opportunity to move things around as we see they should be, which happens most of the time, but I think this year.
through the chair, typically though, the recommendations, we sit as a community development team because we work with these agencies all year and for several years. So a lot of it is based on like factors I said, like their capacity, their risk assessment and need. And based on public comments also, because we do this, actually, we do a 5-year plan and an annual action plan, and the community does have the opportunity to input comments, regarding what we fund and how we fund it. So we do have a 30-day comment period, which is mandated by HUD. So we have a lot of regulatory compliance that we have to follow in order to make this plan and not have a plan or fund agencies just to be funding an agency and it's not matching anything of our strategy or our goals or what we've put into our annual action plan or our 5-year plan. So just to put another note with that, we're just really making efforts to look for other organizations, because sometimes we might need an organization that did not apply. So there's just different types of things we can do as a community development team to make all of this make more sense or make the biggest impact to the quality of life of our residents. So that's our ultimate goal, is to improve the
Let's go
quality of
fall in
life.
line with the 5 years.
Yes,
So you can't apply for something outside of the plan.
yes,
And is that plan posted where the
Yes.
applicants can apply?
yes. So this is an annual, and so we do the same thing every year, that residents and subrecipients, nonprofits and so forth, can know what we're doing, what our goals are, and then we can align.
Like, see, I knew we could get this, no problem. We did.
Through this year, we knew it too.
Mike, Pat, anything else?
Through the chair, I don't know who the best is to talk about the administration component, and do we always hit the rich, do we hit the 20, do we hit the percents, and if we don't, do we put that back into other programs, are we allowed to? That's the max we're allowed to spend on. If you could give us some start.
Through the chair. In the past several years, we were creeping up very close to the 20%. We switched around some workers, took them out of admin and putting them in housing admin, so that that money doesn't count against the 20%. Because as you can see, since we have some old money, I don't take 20%. And this year, I just the 15%. So that's 5% that we could put towards other spending. Because the admin money doesn't go away. If we don't spend it, it rolls over.
You could spend it.
Still, we'll always be at the 20% cap. But so next, if we roll over admin money again next year, I won't have to take 20%. I could maybe take 17% of whatever they give us and put that towards admin.
So you can shift it between years if you have admin money.
The total, yes. Does that make sense? Like, for example, I'm using 3 years of admin money currently. So when I look at the admin that I can spend, I'm always going to spend the oldest admin first, because that's always the money that could be recaptured quicker. I just make sure that at the back end with the new admin money, I have enough. If we were going to spend 20%, which is our max, that it's covered in 2 years, 3 years, and all the years that I have admin money in.
So this whole thing is, I know it's from community planning, but it's monitored through finance, or just the administration portion, or just the administration and department thing.
I pay all the subrecipient requests and still handle all the admin expenses and the payroll. And I'm the one that watches the numbers that were underneath, making sure that we're underneath the 20% cap.
You utilize and you're paid for 2 departments.
Yes,
You wear 2 hats.
yes.
I know this is a question we ask all the time, is there any money left over that haven't been drawn down this year's? If so, where do we place those funds?
Through the chair, one example of money that is in danger of being recaptured is the 45th year money, because it usually takes 7 years for them to recapture it. Well, the recapture date is after the date of the Section 108 payment. So they won't recapture that money because we will have wired that money to pay for the amphitheater payment. So the money that is sitting around in danger of being recaptured, I always shuffle it to debt service because that is the quickest and easiest way to make a lot of money disappear.
That's why we make it.
It's within the federal guidelines,
Yeah,
according to federal guidelines.
yeah.
Yes.
That's why sometimes you remember the whole big deal of shuffling around money about 3 years ago. Took all that old admin money, put it into debt service. So we wouldn't be in danger of them recapturing that.
Right. Through the chair, I think for the committee's sake, if we could see those fund balances of the different, or however you classify that, I'm sure you, for what years we have and how those, going back, 7 years is the oldest it could be, so I guess look back at the last 7 years, what we have sitting there.
Yeah. Through the chair, it'll reflect, the numbers I can give you will reflect the grant balance for each year. You won't be able to see, 20,000 that may be in the one subrecipient, some of that may be admin, but I can show you the grant balances available for the path that we still have.
Those are only usable within certain categories anyway.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Any motion or anything?
I would say we could make a motion. This is what, for the chair, this is what you'd be presenting to us in the form of legislation.
Yes.
Yeah, we probably should.
It's tomorrow. Oh, you know, how much is it free? How much is it? Oh, the other one was what?
I'll make a motion, well, that we accept what they presented and ask them. That legislation in accordance to this, so.
Second. That's been motion and seconded. That's all we need for the day. This agenda item is separate, July 7th.
Can we do Mondays? Does that work for folks? I have a continual conflict on Tuesdays. Or change the time, I don't, either way works.
Seconds.
Jared.
Thank you.